In recent times, looking on DistroWatch, I've often noticed MX Linux being first or second on the list. Now, yes, I know the rankings on DistroWatch, it's easy to be gamed and you can't get real info from that. I get it, and it's true. But I did want to know what the heck was MX Linux? And MX Linux is, it was a cooperative venture between Antix and MX Linux communities. And what, of course, has happened is they went ahead and built MX Linux. And looking online, it's a Debian based OS that comes in XFCE, KDE, and Fluxbox. And all of these are available in, I believe, Debian stable, if I'm not mistaken. So what I've done is gone ahead and downloaded the flagship, which is the XFCE, and thought, yeah, let's take a look at this distro quickly. So definitely be interested in taking a look at MX Linux. Um, I know it's definitely become quite popular online. Um, so since it's Debian, I'm just gonna put it as Debian 11. So I should get relatively the correct settings. I'll just give this thing 4 gigs, 4 CPU cores, 20 gigs is fine. I'm not going to rename it. And we're going to get started here. So MX Linux, 9th of April build. Let's take a look. So of course, why Debian? Of course, Debian, extremely popular distro in the server space, stable, as well as a lot of distros are based upon it. Most famous, of course, is Ubuntu, and multiple other distros, also based on Debian, out there. So, MX Linux, that was quick. Wow. So, what I'm going to do is take a look and actually going to install this. So, great Conky setup there. And let's go to the installer. So, different kind of an installer. This does not use Calamares installer. So, it is nice to see something a little different. Uses some components from Mepius Linux. I remember using Mepius, I was quite fond of that. Uh, you have the option here, regular install. Uh, finds a hard drive, you could customize it, just go out. I'm going to do regular install. And of course, if you check on the live log side, it actually tells you what it's busy doing. At the moment, do we want to install Grub for Linux and Windows? Yes, on the master boot record. Computer name, MX is fine. Domain, okay, that's all fine. Localization, United States is cool. Time zone, America, New York, no issue. Login, let's do something extremely surprising. I know. Let me put in a very strong password. Okay, I'm guessing if I don't hit a root administrator account, it will then create a sudo or give the Gosh account sudo privileges. Do we want to save live desktop changes? No, we don't. Uh, is that all? Must admit, really great to see how quickly this installer goes. And such a clean and pleasant way of doing it. So that's pretty great. So if there's any distro out there that's well polished, Debian based, and can bridge the gap between all Debian packages, unstable, and testing, I say it's definitely worth it. Um, but let's see what this has in store for us. So it's already installed in Grub. That was a quick copy. Wow. Intrum FS. do like the fact that it actually starts installing the base OS while you're busy doing your mild configurations or basic configurations. Saves a hang of a lot of time here. Especially unlike with Calamaris, where it's step by step by step by step by step, which is good. But this is just simple but a whole new level. So they say it will take between 3 and 20 minutes. Cleaning up. Finished. What? Okay, let's finish. It's rebooting. Okay. Kernel 510. So still relatively more recent kernel. And if anyone's wondering, we're on kernel 5.18 now, 5.18.6, or along that line in the stable branch. So let me type in my incredibly strong password. And first things first is let's sort out the screen resolution. So right click desktop settings, and we don't go there. Okay, that's fine. Let me just slow down a bit. FAQ opens up a PDF document. Nice. Okay. It tells you how long it will be supported for. They still will make 32-bit versions in the future, and there's also community releases as well. Oh, like that. They're straight to the point. It's pretty cool. And out of interest, there's LXDE, KDE, Fluxbox, respins, GNOME or GNOME, Beowulf, many community respins of this distro as well. I had no idea. Okay, let's close that and this. The wiki, let's go to tools. Oh, this is nice. This is nice. One Live USB Maker, snapshot, cleanup, boot options. Okay, so if we click on that. Would choose the default theme and all of that with booting it up. Utilities. I'm just going to leave the tools there and click on tweak. And this is what I expected. So here you can choose where you want your panel. Do you want it left, vertically, horizontally, bottom, top? That's fine. I'm going to leave that. Oh, crikey. So, actually, panel settings, window manager, appearance, theme, compositor, it's fine. Display, here we go. So, let's try that. And see that looks absolutely hideous. So let me actually choose the correct resolution here. Okay, there we go. That's applied. Additional options for thinner. If you want to reset like DM, it's there. Kernel sandbox, config options. You name it, it's there. About tells you when it's supported until, which is until 2024. It's based on Debian 11.3. Popular apps. This is nice. Check this. So, like a lot of distros these days, it gives you the option of the latest browser. Okay, that's interesting. So there's the popular applications, the stable repo, just busy updating, the MX test repo, the Debian backports and Flatpaks, which is a really nice balance if you think about it, because here you can have your base distro based on Debian stable, while still getting newer packages, like the latest version of Brave, as an example. Um, so a bunch of OS packages here. Um, Here they tell you if you use the MX test repo, it's for testing only, and it might break the system. And as you can see here, some of these applications, it actually tells you what version it is. So I suspect these are versions of software in their repo that is a bit newer than what you would find on standard Debian. I think it's a fantastic idea. And customized for the OS. Of course, Debian backports, which is literally the software that would now be in Debian testing. So if you want something a little bit newer, like a newer version of LibreOffice, you would come here and grab it from here. Then this distro also gives you access to Flatpaks. Again, another way of getting more recent software. And a lot of distros these days are making heavy use of stuff like Flatpaks. Sorry, I got a bit blown away there, at least with the browsers. So good that you get the option with the latest browsers. If there's anything on your system you want to be recent, it's your browser. Okay, it doesn't get to me what version, for example, of Dolphin if I installed it, and if I right click and go more info, it just tells me that it's a file manager. If I check in the kernels, I wanted a more newer kernel. I can actually choose a newer version of Debian from the MX repo, and of course the default one that it's using is 5.10, which is patched. And of course you could install a older NTX kernel if you really wanted to, for whatever reason. Of course, wouldn't recommend it, but the option is there. Okay, and of course all these different Windows managers, different options. The software, brilliant. A tour. So it will actually talk you through the OS, through what features it has. I can see it's got an updated tool that it's picked up. Here again, it explains to you what all the different repos are. It even has Timeshift installed as well by default, which you can well, it has it installed, but it's disabled, so you can enable Timeshift in case you make a change or you need to revert your system back to an earlier state. You can use Timeshift, as you see that in a Debian distro. Now we were back earlier on settings and I got distracted. So of course there's tweak. Oh, okay, it's the same as earlier, the earlier tweaking tool. Okay, close that. Codex installer. Okay, yeah, we assume legal responsibility for these codecs. Okay, I guess it's just going to download them. Fair enough. What's this? Oh, here's the menu. Okay, that's how you finally get here. Let's look at the terminal. Wow, everything with the service is so stupidly quick. Like, wow. Okay, that's back to about bash config. So it's aliases that are around and pre-configured prompts. So your NVIDIA driver installer, which I may, if you're using NVIDIA hardware, of course. Use manager tour, fix GPG keys, package installer. I wonder if that's going to take us to the same screen as what we landed up on earlier. Yes, it does. Okay, that's fine. Repo manager, I'm interested in seeing as well. Okay, so here it has all of the options for and different repos it has. So you could just use an option or select the fastest for the MX repos. Same for Debian and any individual resources or options where you would just reset the apt sources here. iDevice mounter, if you have, wait for it, an Apple device. Quick system info. This is pretty cool. And it's already copied this report. So let's take a look quickly. As mentioned earlier, kernel 5.10.0. It's using XFCE 416. It knows it's running on KVM. Alright. Let's close that off. And do one or two small things I just want to check in the terminal. So let's do a free-m. That's only using 643 megs of memory, hardly any. And of course, we all know the name. And this was built 17th of the 3rd, so 17th of March. So in short, what do I think of this? I think this has got to be one of the best polished looking distros. Never mind. It even comes with Midnight Commander. Nice choice. Never mind that it's Debian based. It's just straight into the point. Quite a lot of tools that it has for the OS. It kind of reminds me of Mandrake or Mandriva or OpenDriva or type OS from back in the day. But I really like how they've handled the software, bringing some newer software into it as well. So you can literally have your cake and eat it with being on a stable base and newer software. Because that's always the thing. Like, do you want newer base, newer software, and then maybe risk something going a bit haywire? I can say that. I mean, this channel is called Arch. So that goes without saying. But I think this is awesome. What this team has managed to accomplish is just remarkable. You can even, what it will do, it will even take a backup of your system and create a live CD of that as well. So if you make changes and you were rolling it out, and you needed to create an easy customized ISO, you could do it using this. So, downsides, well, probably could be a little bit overwhelming for some users, especially if you see all of this. But having said that, though, the wealth and the documentation, I mean, having a user manual straight out the box in the OS on the desktop that is relatively, it's not, it's actually quite comprehensive, you often don't get this type of thing anymore. You often have to go online and look at it online, which is fine. People are accustomed to it. But I mean, even the FAQ here, I think is pretty standard. And if you want to know more about configuration, do you want to know more about Flatpaks, and then it will open up a link. I would say this has a really good out-of-the-box experience for both new Linux users and for seasoned users. In all honesty, something like this attracts me far more than something such as Ubuntu. Not with respect to the Ubuntu team, but this is at least pretty still close to, I take it, to normal Debian. And yeah, it would be great to see other distros incorporate having tools. Yes, we can do things from the command line. It's more powerful, I know. But just having this for normal use of all of these type of tools, I wish this was more commonplace. The only other distros I can really think of is probably OpenSUSE and SUSE Linux, Mandriva, which I've already mentioned, PC Linux OS, if that's still going, most will have these type of options out the box, easy to use, uh, wealth of documentation built in. So in short, I think it's absolutely awesome OS. I can so far see why it's first. Um, I know I'm gonna get hate for that comment, but it is what it is. So yeah, I would say MX team, well done, great work. If I wasn't such a staunch Arch user, I would probably use this. I would say if I was going to install Linux on someone else's machine, I I didn't install something that's Arch based, and if I wanted to install something Debian based, I would probably look at installing this. It's just it's just great work with what they've done, and really try to think of the bigger picture. So yeah, I'll be interested in hearing your comments. Thanks for watching, and take care.